So this whole thing about the first black female president, you got to ask these black voters, what has Kamala said she's going to do for the black community? She literally laughed at that question. She laughs at everything, so that's not the biggest deal. But she laughed and said, well, I'm going to just focus on things that are good for all the people, which is a right answer, right? That's the right answer technically. That's not the answer that people want to hear.
Many black voters are mostly concerned with representation.
There's no black agenda.
And whatever the Democrats are doing, they're clearly...
Black voters are concerned with representation. I thought you said Trump was doing so well with black voters, though. So when black voters pick Trump, it's because they're smart and base and they know what's good for the country. But when they pick Kamala, they just care about her because she's black. But I thought she wasn't actually black. I thought Kamala wouldn't be representation for black voters because she's not really black. She's Jamaican or whatever the fuck, right? So what is it? We've got like a foot in 3 different worlds at the same time.
Clearly doing it the right way, and they're very effective at it with the black community.
Yeah.
And whatever they're doing an effective job at dominating the black community.
It's just terror. It's terror. They're terrifying them.
To an outrageous degree. I think Joe Biden won next to 90%, something close to 90% of the black vote. The numbers that sound ridiculous, sound outlandish,
I thought Trump was so good with minority voters, though. What happened? Why is the narrative on this changing? What's going on?
Made up.
Well, they convinced them Trump's a racist. They say, and then the Project 2025. Nobody even knows what that means anymore. That's just thrown out at any, oh yeah, well, things are going to be bad. Project 2025. Nobody knows what's
on
in
Project 2025. Democrats might not know what's in it, but they fearmonger about it very effectively. I spoke to many people yesterday at Kamala Harris's Philadelphia rally where I wouldn't mention it, they would mention it as one of their biggest concerns. So it is sort of the Democrats' DEI or CRT from past elections, if you will. It's become the new...
Oh, I like that he draws the comparison himself so that we don't have to say it. Wow, they're all fearmonger over things. They don't know what it is. Like when you guys talk about literally everything relating to Marxism or postmodern Marxism or CRT or DEI. Okay, cool, nice, based.
Scapegoat phrase to attack.
Yeah.
When there isn't.
Is that what it is? Wait. Did you just say the quiet part out loud? So DEI and CRT were just scapegoat phrases to attack? Is that...
I wouldn't mention it. They would mention it as one of their biggest concerns. So it is sort of the Democrats' DEI or CRT from past elections, if you will. It's become the new scapegoat phrase to attack.
Yeah,
and there isn't something.
And we can't win on that. We can't win on talking about Project 2025. We just can't. We have to get it back to the issues, and we will.
Oh, what are the issues? Hold on, that was funny. We can't talk about Project 2025, which is like a comprehensive 900-page actual policy laid out. Okay, we have to get back to the issues. All right, play the Where's the... Okay. Wait, just keep playing. Why is it stopping when I tap out? Okay. When he says get back to the real issues, is it going to be A, coup attempt, B, trans Olympians, C, Democrats want open borders, or D, what other stupid culture wars issues do they, or D, all of them?
I think we will. As soon as she has to debate him, it's going to be pretty different.
Maybe Trump will deal a second knockout blow to the next. We'll see who's up after Kamala. They're going to swap Kamala out after the next debate.
The same thing she did tonight, which is to go, I'm speaking. She's going to wait for...
If she does...
She's going to have a female
They're going to bring up an issue. Hold on, it's coming.
Black woman at the debate...
They're going to bring up an issue. Hold on, it's coming.
This is not a Medea.
We need to get back to what?
It's not going to work.
You say that, but the media will praise her.
Oh, the media will.
You did this with Pence, right? Mm-hmm. I'm speaking.
And the media loved it, but it doesn't come off well. It just doesn't come off well. You're talking about middle American votes. You're talking about votes in the Midwest.
None of this matters.
This is not going to work.
None of that matters. Ballot harvesting matters.
It's true.
The voter... What, did I say voter fraud? Did I mention voter fraud? I forgot they could bring that one up again. I don't remember if I said that or not. That was the answer. It was voter fraud. No!
None of that matters. Ballot harvesting matters.
These are the real issues. The real issues is that the 2020 election was stolen. Oh, it was E. Oh, no.
It's true. It's who counts these votes. It's really all it is.
Oh, wait, I said coup attempt. Does that? No. I was referring to the Democratic coup attempt, not the fake Republican one, the real Democrat one.
A ballot box in D.C. today. Why do we still have ballot boxes? We don't have COVID anymore. Why do we still have these things? Like, and we've done nothing about election integrity. With that being said, I still think we win it. I really do. I still think Trump wins this. But we've got to get smart. And once we're in, we've got to use every bit of that power for these 4 years to hold back what they're trying to do to us. Because God knows if she gets in, she's not Joe Biden. This woman is going to have a competent team.
I thought that Joe Biden was supposed to destroy America. I feel like we're doing okay. No?
And she is going to push the most radical agenda that anyone in this country can even conceive of.
You know that you need Congress to vote on things, right? Like the president can't do it alone, right? Like it takes the other people. There's like the other branches of government, the legislative one in particular.
And did you see his little thing today, Walz? It was from the past where he says, well, free speech and all, but misinformation cannot be tolerated and disinformation cannot be tolerated. They're literally Marxists. It's MAGA.
Oh, wait, hold on.
And this says, well,
Or else.
And did you see his little thing today, Walz? It was from the past where he says, well, free speech and all, but misinformation cannot be tolerated.
That clip, that 7-second clip, I think I got Greenwald on this because he was spreading this too. That 7-second clip that they're talking about was Walz saying that you can't lie about where ballot boxes are, which, by the way, is a crime in the United States of America. You're not allowed to do that. You can't actually do that. They're talking about this clip.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
He's not talking about misinformation and hate speech. He's talking about lying about where ballot boxes are and voter intimidation. That's what he's talking
Governor,
about.
one of the things that I've learned in studying all of this with democracy modernization is that the more people that participate, the extremes of parties go down because you want to get all the voters.
Exactly
and I think
right.
that what you're putting down is absolutely correct. And I want to, just before I ask you another question, I want to talk about what you just mentioned about misinformation. Because oftentimes before, in previous political chapters, disinformation, telling people where to vote the wrong way, that was these were considered shenanigans. But it's becoming more ominous. Can you talk a little bit about that and what you will do to ensure that there are penalties for that?
So the frame of the question is, it has to do with voting. It has to do with lying about voting stuff, right? Which is a crime. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, years ago, it was the little things telling people to vote the day after the election. And, we kind of brushed them off. Now we know it's intimidation at the ballot box. It's undermining the idea that mail-in ballots aren't legal. I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy. Tell the truth where the voting places are, who can vote, who's able to be there. And watching some states continue to weaken the protections around the ballot, I think is what inspiring us to lean into this. Again,
He's talking about voter intimidation, and he's talking about ballot boxes. He's talking about lying about stuff relating to voting, which is a crime. Nothing in here is about curtailing your freedom of speech or making racial hate speech laws or whatever. Nothing in here has anything to do with that. There's no reading of this where that's what's happening.
The country and everyone else just falls in line or else.
And did you see his little thing today, Walz? It was from the...
How does hate speech fit into this? He's not talking about hate speech laws like racial discrimination. He's talking about voter intimidation. That's what this is about. That's what this conversation is about.
The country and everyone else just falls in line or else.
And did you see his little thing today, Walz? It was from the past where he says, well, free speech and all, but misinformation cannot be tolerated and disinformation cannot be tolerated. They're literally Marxists. It's MAGA versus Marxism.
And he
That's
said
where we
that
are.
as a guy who was spreading misinformation about...
Oh my God. About the couch. No, not the couch. I am so happy. I am so happy that Republican snowflakedness is on full display for everybody. Okay? Destiny, but he did say hate speech. Do you know how to speak English? Listen to what he's talking about. Have you guys ever written an essay your entire life? When he says hate speech here, do you think he's talking about hate speech laws against demographics of like racial slurs? What do you think he's talking about here? Listen to the context of the conversation.
About J.D. Vance and
about his own
stripping a
service
couch.
record, this psychopath.
Oh, and then they bring up the stolen valor memes.
He's a pedophile.
Super
Oh, be careful, don't die.
cynical. We're going back to this about succeeding in politics and just being as cynical as you could possibly be.
What do you think J.D. Vance should do on the debate stage? Because
What should J.D. Vance do on the debate stage?
presumably he will debate Walz.
Flaunt his record as a veteran.
How old is JD Vance? I'm going to be honest. I look at the guy, just his vibe is that of like a lost 28-year-old. I know he can't, he must be he's got to be at least 35, right, to be a candidate? He feels like a lost 28-year-old. Okay, he's 40. He was in the Marine Corps for 4 years. Which, hold on, let me be ultra clear. Hold on. Let me be ultra clear on this, all right? In whatever capacity somebody serves in the military, that's fine. There are a plethora of roles in the United States military that don't involve active combat and that don't involve deployment. The only way our military works, okay? The only way our military functions is with all of those support roles working in unity, in conjunction with the active combat roles, okay? When you see people like Russia fail to conduct military operations, when you see people like the United States steamroll other countries in military conflict, like in Iraq or in any kind of NATO mission, that's not just because we have the best combat guys. We're going to bomb everything. They're so fucking. It's because all of the layers, all of the interwoven support, communications, all of the ISR, everything else is working. All of the intelligence, all of it is working, okay? As well as it can be. So don't ever make fun of somebody or somebody just because they're not in an active combat role. That's ridiculous, okay? Just let me be ultra clear on that, okay? But, or it's not a but, I don't know how a guy who served for 4 years in the Marines in a combat correspondent role is going to somebody that served for 25 years in the National Guard. I don't understand how you can, what is he going to say, or how are you going to him from? It's just such a weird.
Presumably he will debate Walz.
Flaunt his record as a veteran as a contrast to Walz's lack of
lack of what? Notice how he wants to say more here, but he actually has no idea what he's talking about. He doesn't know what Vance's role was in the military, and he doesn't know what Walz's role was in the military. So he wanted to say more here, but then he's like, "Oh, he's like, I don't know what the I'm talking about. I don't know. I don't know why the I'm up here. I don't know why I'm on stage right now."
Veteran.
Anyway, yeah. This guy's he wants to invoke something solid here, but he has literally no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
As a contrast to Walz's lack of not actually stolen valor, but talking up being in combat.
I think he should act like a statesman, because Walz is going to try to put on this folksy act like he's some man of the people. I think Vance needs to just literally just be very, very statesman-like.
Wait, I thought we liked man of the people. Are we not into that anymore? Did that change? I thought we liked that Trump was the everyman.
Do VPs even matter? Who gives a, nobody's getting excited over, I don't think, over JD or Walz. It's all about Kamala and Trump.
Okay.
I mean...
Yeah? You think so? Okay.
Look, Kamala's got no staying power. Walz has got no staying power.
Oh.
JD Vance has a little bit. Trump has a lot.
Okay.
If this election were literally...
if they were like, we just need more time. If it was 6 months later.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.